What in the wide, wide world of sports did we just witness? I just watched the Houston reunion, MAFS, Married at First Sight. I just watched the reunion and I'm just totally lost right now. I left the show feeling disoriented, mixed up. I mean, we're I guess they have writers on the show. Were they trying to confuse us the whole season? Because, okay, let me just rush through Jose and Rachel. They surprised me too because Rachel comes out talking about that Jose, they couldn't have been matched better. They're happy. And then, they like to drop a bombshell before they go to commercial. Rachel, Kevin Frazier says, "Are you guys still together?" And she says, or something. And she says, "No, they're not together. They've been apart for like a month." But their fights always seem like it's over dumb stuff. Like when she was moving in his house or something, Jose said, "Is it like, how much stuff do you have?" or something. And she got mad and moved out. I'm like, could you be a little more petty? I mean, the stuff people fight over nowadays is like, I just don't see how that's so significant that you'd be willing to move out, get a divorce, whatever. But dude, what was tonight's show about? But they sound like, Jose wants to work it out, and Kevin Frazier kept putting him on the spot about locking her out, and he said he wasn't trying to be mean or whatever, or trying to prove a point. He was just like, I honestly thought, she wasn't home, so I went to bed because I guess of the time he thought she was gone, and he locked the door. Kevin's like, come on, man, like, man to man, like, you were trying to, like, pay her back. But he wants to get back with her. They're working on it. Rachel said something about they talked on the phone for hours or something like that, and I guess they're cool. But tonight's show was just a trip. It just really, I thought the previews where they were kind of showing some drama was headed our way, or their way, not my way. But I kind of thought it was clickbait. I thought, yeah, they'll end up showing they weren't really referring to what we thought. But it seems like it was worse than I thought, or worse than we all thought. So looks like Rachel and Jose are working on getting back together, but for now, I guess she moved out. Bao wasn't on the show at all tonight. I don't know. I was like, are they going to stretch this out to next week? Sure enough, they're going to have part 2 next week. You could fit it all in the same night. They're showing some waste of time show afterwards with clips and stuff like that. Do we need to see that? Just come on, let's get it over with. They're dragging the season out, and we got to wait 2 months for the next season in San Diego. Anyway, next was good old Ryan and Brett. Sounds like Brett wasn't quite as honest as we thought she was. Ryan's sister comes out and exposes that Brett was talking to somebody while accusing Ryan of talking to someone on a dating app, and she's telling him the other week, you only had like 2 weeks or a week to go, dude. You couldn't wait for a week. Meanwhile, she's talking to some other dude, and they put her on the spot, and she said, well, I'm not talking to them now. I met them a little before decision day, and we exchanged numbers, but, nothing happened, and this and that, and I'm like, this doesn't look good. She looked guilty, She looked like she did something wrong and was just trying to play it off with her poker face. But, like, how you going to blame dude for getting on a dating app and you're giving your number out while still married? I mean, this season was a disaster. If this season wasn't proof enough that they have to do something different, then I don't know what was. See, I just did something different. Turned my head around. But, oh my gosh. That the fact that you would give your number out before decision day, I mean, do people have any type of morals now? People are just wild. I mean, I was just outside and some woman said some crazy, I mean, women didn't talk like this years ago, but she was just pretty upfront. She just said some craziness stuff, and I was like, that's TMI, that's too much information. Like, I ain't need to know all that. But people just, morals nowadays, man. It's like, morals is a bad word, but this dude's on a dating app, Ryan, and Brett's meeting some guy in court. I don't know how Ryan and his sister knew so much about her situation, but Ryan's sister knew that she said to Brett that you've been coming home late, you stayed out late. I don't know if they hired a detective to follow her or a spy, but they seem to know a lot about what was going on. And I don't know how they knew all this, but it sounds pretty bizarre. So they're just not, I mean, like we all knew they weren't going to work out. I mean, it was Captain Obvious right there. At first, I picked them to stay together. They seemed like they meshed, but like Ryan's sister said, she thought she was a good match for him and would have made him a good wife, but he's looking for something else. And apparently she got fed up and started looking for something else a little early too. Moving on. Now this is the one that really threw me. I came out the gate not feeling, at first I liked Myrla when I saw her in the interview. She seemed cool. Then when she got with Gil, I thought, maybe not so much. She was complaining a lot. She seemed bougie. And then later I changed my opinion because it seemed like Gil was starting to complain. He was calling her a Debbie Downer, a negative Nancy. Then he's just started turning to a Daryl Downer. You know, he kept complaining about, you know, her being bougie and spoiling his mood. But tonight she just threw me. Because they were showing clips of her just at decision day talking about, she looked him right in his face and said, I want to spend every moment with you. She was talking about how he's the perfect match. He's this and that. She was really dressing it up. She's crying. And I'm like, how do you change that much tonight? Gil's like, she left me right after decision day or something like that. So I'm like, right after decision day, he said that she told him, you're not my type. I mean, I know she said she liked dudes with hair and a beard. Well, he had a beard tonight. And then when he called her on the carpet for it, she was like, I didn't say that. He's like, I wouldn't make that up. And she said, well, I'm not going to go back and forth. When someone says they're not going to go back and forth, that's an admission of guilt pretty much. So the fact that you don't want to go back and forth is like, well, he may expose me, so I don't want to talk about it. He wouldn't make that up. Gil has an ego, or appears to. So no man's going to get on national TV and admit that an attractive woman doesn't want him. That's kind of a blow to his ego. It's not how men work. I just couldn't believe how Myrla just turned on him. She seemed cold. She seemed like borderline hatred. Like, I'm like, why does she seem so angry? She said that he was talking about he made $100 more than her every week or every 2 weeks. He makes more money than her. And he's feeling like she doesn't like him because he doesn't make enough money. And she said certain things were non-negotiables. Now, it's like he said, same thing I was thinking. If you're not attracted to him, why didn't you tell him that from day one instead of dragging it out? You said he was handsome. And she even made it sound like she'd get used to his shaved head. But tonight she just seemed, something had to have happened. And I hope it comes out next week because I don't know if he said something that offended her and she never got over it. But something happened because you don't just wake up one day and all of a sudden you tell this person, I'm not attracted to you. It's not going to work. I don't want you. She just seemed cold and callous, like he never mattered. And you could see the pain in his eyes. I mean, and next week they talk about like Myrla and Johnny being BFFs. And then you see Gil get up and walk out. He said, yeah, I don't feel so well. I'm like, really? Myrla and Johnny, really? I mean, is he paid that well? I mean, and Gil's a big dude. I mean, he could easily just pow, and Johnny would be like out. But I just didn't like the way she did him. She seemed cold and callous. She seemed like his feelings didn't matter. She didn't seem like she minded embarrassing him on national TV. She didn't seem to have, she's talking about, I want the best for him and this and that. That's some nonsense. If you wanted the best for him, you'd be treating him better. You don't wait to get on national TV and put him on blast, make stuff up, try to degrade the man. I don't want you. I think she even said those words, I don't want you. I'd have been like, chick, like, who do you think you are? But even Kevin Frazier was like, he told him there's a long line, and he said, I'm sure your DMs are getting hit up right now. So, I mean, Gil's a good-looking guy. He'll meet somebody else. But his thing is his ego was bruised. And he said, with anybody, he just wants to feel wanted. And once somebody can just turn on you like that without warning, you're going to be hesitant from now on. He's going to be looking at all women like, dude, I can't trust you. You could just flip out on me. I mean, because she gave no signs of this on decision day. She was touchy-feely all over him. They consummated their marriage. I'm even starting to wonder if all the little jabs he was taking at her, because Kevin Frazier said, did it bother you when he would call you certain things? She said, it did. So I'm thinking, was she just plotting because I heard online that she would ask the producers to take stuff out of the show. I guess she thought it'd make her look bad. So I don't know if she just didn't want to get left on decision day, so she was plotting. Was she plotting the whole time? Like, yeah, I just don't want to get left in front of everybody, but after the show, he's outro, he clowned me the whole time, so I'm going to get him back. Payback. The woman scorned. That was disappointing. I mean, Myrla, I said you were classy on a comment, but what you did tonight to Gil showed no class. It was disrespectful. It was uncalled for. If you had beef with the dude, you shouldn't have drug it out and let him on. And I just think that was wrong the way she handled it. That was classless, total classless. Thumbs down, big time. Moving on to your girl Michaela and Zach. Now, Michaela was so mad, she didn't even want Zach in the same room. She's like, I'm done. Like, she was staying at his house 7 or 8 days after. She said something about they were messing around, and he told her, don't tell anybody. And she's like, don't tell anybody. He said, if you tell anybody, I'm going to deny it. And then later, she leaves the room, and he comes out. Before she's saying all her stuff, he's in the back room watching it on the TV. And he's like, man, now I see why they won't let me out there. Like he's implying that she's not telling the truth, and she didn't want him out there to debate him. So he said he's going to deny it if I say it. And then later, Kevin Frazier asked him, did you celebrate your 1 month anniversary or something with her? And he said, no or something. And I noticed he looked away when he said it. He didn't look Kevin Frazier in the eyes. And then I can't wait to see next week that Michaela storms in. And he's talking about, no, you're going to give me my time. You wouldn't let me on the set when she was out here. You're going to give me my time. And then he storms out in classic Zach and Johnny fashion. I think Michaela's finally even Kevin Frazier was talking about, dude, you don't think what you're saying is confusing? Like, you tell her you want a divorce, but hey, let's work on it after the divorce. Like, no, you're divorced. That means done. He's like, that's confusing. And then Zach's acting like everybody else is crazy and not him. Like that makes sense. I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, Zach. You're playing games. And even Michaela said that, he was acting like she was feeling like she couldn't make any mistakes. Like he was just waiting for her to make a mistake so he could say something. So that keeps you on eggshells. Like, I have to be perfect or he's going to leave me. He's going to call me on it. He's going to tell the doctors I got a temper. So, and like I said, it was almost like he was trying to egg her on and make her look upset. But he had no problem, fooling around with her. But then he didn't want to stay with her. It's like he wants the best of both worlds. And she just had enough. I believe next week she says she got played. He never cared about her. And he's looking astounded like, what? Like, I was the best husband ever. Dude, please. You was playing all kind of mental games. she said I gave him every opportunity to leave and he wouldn't do it, which is true. Like when she said you can leave now, even though she tried to tell him he could stay later, but guess she had a change of heart. But this dude's playing games. I'll divorce you, but we'll work on it later. If you're gonna work on it, stay married. Divorce is divorced. So what, you gonna get remarried again if it works out? Like, yeah, we worked on it, now we're cool, Married twice to the same person. Makes no sense, Zach. Move back. Bars. This dude, Zach, man, this is I think this is crazier than last season, because last season it was mainly Chris and Paige. This season is like everybody's nuts. The whole, like the matchmakers, whoever. I don't know. Oh. Just to see Zach play mind games with somebody because he knows they got a reputation, like he said. Like, it's not me. Like, her family says she's this way. Like, I've seen it. You've seen it. So he's acting like, yeah, I'm not making it up. Okay, like I said before, let's say it's true. Let's say she's got the worst temper in the world. You were activating it. You knew what it would do to bring that temper out. Playing mind games. You keep sleeping with the woman and then talking about divorce right after. It definitely seems like it's easier to be single nowadays because people today, if people can change on you like that, you don't know what you're getting. I mean, you go to sleep cool on Friday, Saturday you wake up and they hate you and filing for divorce. You don't know what you're getting. I was gonna watch the show twice just in case there was something I missed, because Ryan got in a slick comment saying something about Myrla. I think he said something about her getting comfortable being single, and he didn't say who he was referring to until he said something about Gil's wife or something. I didn't catch that. It's just I didn't feel like sitting through that 2-hour show that was afterwards to sit through another 2-hour show. So I'm just telling you what I remember. If I forgot anything, I do a part deuce. But Myrla, that was low class. It was cold hearted. Man, I hope other men watch this and take notes and be like, nah, I'm good on her. If you can just turn on somebody, she's talking about she needs somebody financially stable. And Kevin Frazier was like, Gil, you got a job, right? And that's when he mentioned he makes $100 more than her. Even had on the red bottom shoes. He grew the beard out, I guess, because he knew she liked beards. And Kevin Frazier said he could see the pain in his eyes too, I think. We all could see it. And Kevin Frazier said, if she wanted you back, would you take her? And like, he would take her. I'm like, I don't know if you should have answered that way, because now you just gave her the power. Now she's going to keep stringing you on probably. And I just feel for Gil. This dude seemed like he was like she was just taking his heart, rubbing alcohol on it, salt, lighting a flame, throwing it on there, hitting it with a bat, kicking it. And didn't seem like she cared 1% that he was hurting. She's just like, I don't want you. And like I said, I don't believe he made that up when he said she told him that I'm not attracted to you. Why would he go on national TV and say that an attractive woman's not attracted to him? That's a blow to his ego. He's not going to make that up. Like I said, that's why she said, I'm not going to go back and forth. Well, that's what you're on the show to do, is explain what happened. Is you're on there to go back and forth. You knew that before the show. Just like a lot of the clips they showed of her and Gil, like at the wedding when they're supposed to kiss, she gave the cheek. And then she said, no, we're going to keep it classy. She was always rejecting him. Like she didn't know the show was a marriage show. Like she thought it was a dating show. This show's been on the air for years. This is the 13th season. You knew what you were getting into. It's a lot of game playing out there, y'all. A lot of game playing. What'd you think of this crazy, crazy night on the Houston reunion show? It's been the J. Roos Theory, your big homie. Make sure to subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this wacky night. And be fearless.